Good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing today? Sorry I'm late today. Somebody woke up way too late to do the 2 p.m. stream that I like to do. But then again, Bruce complained about me doing 2 p.m. streams because I guess that's kind of a strange time for him. So hopefully he can enjoy a little bit today, if not a lot. So, well, if it's copyrighted, I'll find out, Greg. So, thanks for coming in, everybody. I got Trina. Thanks for being the first one here, Trina. She is probably our biggest fan. We got Bruce, we got Steve, we got Greg Hrutkay from Hrutkay Mods. So, and Steve's filming a video. So we'll see that in about 6 months, Trina. So if Steve's filming a video, I mean, he's been working on one video for the better part of 2 years now. So you're in your pajamas. Well, I was in my, if it makes you feel any better, Bruce, I was probably in my pajamas till about 3 o'clock. So yeah, my butt was dragging really bad today. I just did not want to do anything. So I had very little energy to do anything. So, oh my lord. So I'd love to put a banner up for Bruce's YouTube channel and his website, but I don't have one. Somebody needs to get up and make me one. I won't mention any names like Steve. Hopefully my audio is not too overpowering. It's peaking out pretty bad. And if Hrutkay is making a video, that means it's probably going to include blood. So as soon as you find, oh my God, Steve, it'll be days before you find a power cable. Oh my lord. Well, Steve or Greg, I'll give Steve credit. At least he doesn't bleed on his projects. So we've already called the Band-Aid factory and told them to be on standby because I'm sure you're going to need some. We probably should call the ER too because you're a accident on the way to the scene sometimes. So, but thanks for coming. Of course, you know who I am. We know who you are. So, and I look like crap, but it is what it is. So, I'm just a nerdy dweeb that lives by himself. So, and I'd just like to let you know now that parts of this video are going to be subtitled and translated by Midna in the background today. She's being borderline annoying, so, and for that I apologize. I try to catch her and show her to you, but she doesn't let anybody within 5 feet of her, so that might be an issue. So the second audio program and the subtitles are being provided by Midna. She is a very black cat, and she's a very skittish cat, unfortunately. So, oh, Greg ran out of Band-Aids, so I guess we'll have to send him some. Maybe when Steve is rooting around on eBay looking at cases of CD caddies, maybe he can look for a case of Band-Aids for Greg. So, and if you guys aren't subscribed to Steve, which I know you all are, but I'm going to show it anyway because he shows a banner on mine. Follow him. He might make a video this month. He might not. We probably have a better chance of getting one out of Greg Hrutkay than we do Steve at this point. Even if Greg does bleed all over whatever he's working on. I do believe that Greg may have, I don't have positive confirmation, I think he may have gotten his M1 based MacBook in the mail. And we may see a video about that here this weekend. So, and I don't have a banner for Greg's channel either. So, somebody needs to start making me some banners. Oh, so hopefully everybody's weekend is going well so far. Mine has been very uneventful. I've eaten dinner and ready to take a look at some stuff. So, as Jay would be happy to see, I have a ThinkPad in pieces here for a very specific purpose. As any of you guys may have seen, I did a stream on Monday. I think it was Monday, maybe it's Tuesday. I don't know. I did a stream earlier this week where I picked up a whole box of ThinkPads, but I had no AC adapters for any of them. So I bought an AC adapter from Amazon for a whole $9, and it seems to be working. And I wouldn't say I've restored, but I have gotten one of the ThinkPads running, and I'm going to show it to you today. But I stripped down the crappiest of the ThinkPads that I had in terms of like specs, and this was a 1.4 gigahertz machine, and I will show you why here. So here we have a ThinkPad. Now this is a actual Lenovo ThinkPad. This one doesn't have the IBM branding or anything on it. Now this particular machine is pretty ratty looking. It's broken here. Trying to think. There's a couple other spots. Oh, the feet are disintegrated on the bottom. The bottom case actually isn't bad, except for where it's broken over here. As you can see, we have the dock, and this is the ultra dock. So this particular computer was the best out of the 6 that I got. And if anybody remembers the stream I did, this is also, strangely enough, this is the one that had the cellular modem in it as well. So this is a 2.8 gigahertz Core 2 Duo. And I have it fully operable with Windows 7 on it. I picked up earlier this week a pair of 250 gig Samsung Evo SSDs. One of them is defective, but Samsung has a 5-year warranty on their SSDs, so I'm going to get it warrantied. And I put the other one in this ThinkPad. The second one is going to be destined for a Mac of some sort, but I don't know what. They're SATA drives, obviously, but I do have parallel AT to SATA converters available. I actually have quite a few of them, so if anybody needs one, please let me know. So, and if you'll take notice, it says, please scan your finger. So, I've never actually had a computer with biometrics working, but the fingerprint scanner works. And this computer is fully functional, except for the fact that the VGA output is not working properly, or I would be actually outputting this onto the screen for you at the moment. So yeah, I actually have a few of them that are actually made by Lenovo, Greg, but they're branded as IBMs, and I do plan on restoring at least one of them. Oh, I lied. This is a 2.2 gigahertz Core 2 Duo. I'm sorry, I said 2.8. I was thinking of my MacBook Pro. My MacBook Pro is a 2.8 gigahertz Core 2 Duo. So, but this one's a 2.2 gigahertz, and it works fairly okay. I mean, it's nothing to write home about. But in terms of like a PC laptop, I mean, it's not too bad. It's limited to a 1024 by 768 screen. It's a very small machine. It's very, very light. But now, right now, I have it docked, and the dock is actually powering. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the eject button on the side here, and we're going to undock it. Whoops. And we're going to put cables out of the way, like Ethernet and charger. And now we are running on battery. And I ran this thing, I was watching a YouTube movie on it last night for about an hour and a half, and the battery only went down to 53%. And I was very impressed. So, I have found that it kind of chokes on full high definition video, but it's actually not bad if you crank it down to 720p. So here it is, live streaming this live stream. So, and it handles it pretty well. I mean, and this is actually a 1080p 60, and it's actually handling it pretty good. So it does get hot like most Core 2 Duos do, but you know. It's not a bad machine. Now it's going to buffer. So it'll make an okay PC laptop. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or what, but I am going to fix it up. The computer I dismantled is to fix the broken casing on this one. So, and this is an X61. So, it's probably 3 pounds. With the battery installed. So, yeah, it works pretty. I mean, it works pretty good for a tiny. It's a very little laptop, you know, and you know, considering, I mean, I don't really have a big use for a huge use for a laptop like this, but I guess if I'm going to have a laptop laying around, I might as well have a little one instead of a big honking thing. So. But, you know, there it is. So it's got 4 gigs of memory in it, 250 gig SSD, and then I've got the docking station, which gives me any port. This thing actually is pretty cool. It actually has serial and parallel ports on it. So I could try to install my backpack hard drive on this. I don't know if it'll work with Windows 7, but I could always try it. And then it has an Ultra Bay here, which comes out. No, there we go. This has a DVD multi-recorder in it, so it's actually got a DVD burner in it. And I may actually have a floppy drive for this. I'm not exactly sure. I know I have a couple Ultra Bay drives down in the shed. So, but it's got a couple USB ports here, 2 more here. It's got network, modem, and this does actually have a modem in it. Of course, sound. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, and this dock's not very big either. So, but I got that one running. So that's one computer. Yes, I think it may be very handy, Steve. So, this one here, well, I haven't really been working on. I just want to show it off real quick. This is the current laptop that I use for my PC stuff. And you guys have probably seen me use it. I used this at Steve's house when we live streamed. Hi, Dave. Thanks for joining. And for those who I haven't said hi to, hi, Zombie Geek. And actually, it looks like that's it. So, welcome to the stream. And I promise I'm getting to the Mac stuff soon. So I'm just showing off a couple of PC things that I was working on. So this is my Panasonic Toughbook that I use, and I can unplug it now. This is a super rugged laptop built to military specifications. So it has a removable battery here, and it's a lithium-ion battery. And this battery is good, very good. Has a hard drive here, which is easily removable, and is encased in this huge carrier with more shock protection in it than any hard drive I've ever seen in my life. But these little latches actually double lock. So, and there's a carrying strap. Got sound microphone here. There would be an optional cell phone GSM card that would go here if you had that option, which this one does not. And video and serial, which is actually why I like this laptop. This has a serial port on it. I use this for connecting to phone systems mainly. Most telephone systems have a built-in serial port for management, so sometimes it's nice. And we got your standard, got power, you got USB ports, and these are USB 2, and everything is covered with these rubber flaps, which kind of get in the way, but you know. And then there's a modem, which is useless. And then network, which is useful. And over here, this is the port that I always use the most. There is a SD card slot. There is a full-size SIM card reader here, which I cannot get working. And then there's a Type 2 PC card or card bus slot, and I use that all the time. So, and this machine's not really, anything great. Just your typical laptop, but it's nice because it's light, and if I drop it, I don't have to worry about destroying it. It has this big honking metal latch that holds it all together. And the tiniest freaking keyboard, the only keyboard that I know that's smaller than this thing, is the one on the libretto, and it's horrible to use. But this is what I use a lot of times to make discs for PCs, at least high density discs. I don't know if it's going to output onto VGA or not. I may have to turn it on. But this runs Windows XP. But the other neat feature is this is a touch screen. It has this little stylus, but I haven't been able to get it working. I have okay, that's odd. Hey, there we go. So I have a regular copy of Windows XP on here. This is a Pentium M, 1.2 gigahertz, I do believe. This thing is slow. Yes, 1.2 gigahertz Pentium M. And since it's running on the battery right now, it's only running at 600 megahertz. And it has a gig and a half of memory, which is the most it can take. So, but this is what I've been using to make PC discs and whatnot. And as much as I like this computer, I've thought about replacing it with the ThinkPad. But then I lose my serial port, which is kind of important to me. But, you know, it is what it is. So, as you see, I mean, it's nothing fantastic. It's just your regular laptop. So, but they're cool. I like tough books. They're made of magnesium, and they're very light and very tough. So, but the real cool one that I want to show off, and I showed this on Monday, I think it was Monday, is the Samsung, which, if anybody was watching the stream, we found out that this thing is exceptionally slow and cumbersome to use. However, I have done a little bit of work to it, and I found out that the battery in this thing is actually really good too. I've actually been farting around with this machine for a little while now, straight up on the battery. And as soon as it boots up here, I will flip over to the capture. Unfortunately, PCs, unlike Macs, don't just automatically output to the video capture device, which is kind of dumb. Oh, it is outputting, okay. So I've installed Windows 7 on this as well. And I've gotten it about 80% working. Unfortunately, the drivers for Windows, there are no drivers for Windows 7. We only have them for Windows XP for this machine. So it doesn't play nice. So I think I'm going to end up downgrading it to Windows XP. And go from there. So it is a 800 megahertz. I think it's a Pentium M processor. It does have 2 gigs of memory, and it has a 60 gigabyte parallel ATA hard drive, but it's not a normal hard drive. It's a special edge connector hard drive, sort of like what a iPod uses. So there are actually ways to put an M.2 MSATA drive in these. A couple of people have done it, so I'm thinking about that. I tried installing the IBM ThinkVantage fingerprint software, and it doesn't work. So I'm probably going to take this one back down to Windows XP. This USB stick here actually has a copy of Windows XP Tablet Edition on it that I can't get to boot, so I'm probably going to end up just making a DVD. So, but the battery in this thing, I mean, I was using the crap out of this thing, and I still have an hour and 6 minutes or so remaining. So the battery actually works pretty well in this as well, and this actually has a battery calibration utility as well. So, and I did run it. So, but it's up and running. If nothing else, I'll add it to my ultra mobile portable PC collection, and just let it collect dust like the rest of them do. And I am amassing a small collection of ultra mobile PCs. I think they're kind of neat if they aren't rather useless, to be honest with you. So these were like a little niche thing for a while, but this one's cool because it's you know, it's got a touch screen, and where's it? There it is. You know, it comes with a stylus, and it does have a touch screen, which most of them don't. They're usually just little screens. So, you know, we got that going on. But time to move on to the main event. So, I don't remember if I showed this machine or not, but I have a couple of iMacs here. And oh, there it is. And one of them is, well, they were both totally working at one point in time. So, no, thanks, Steve. Yeah, I think they're cool too. So, I got a couple iMacs here. And one of them, they were both working at one point in time. And I had one of them sitting on this table, and my cat knocked it down twice. Because my cats are assholes. So, they are just straight up bona fide jerks. And it is no longer working. And that is, unfortunately, my 20-incher. So, I think maybe in the next week or two, Steve and I are going to get together, and we're going to fix it. But in the meantime, oh my goodness, I had this rather filthy. Oh boy, I think that one's heavy. I should lift a 20. Gonna have to lift the camera up here. Forgot how big these things were. But until then, I have a 15-inch machine as well. That is, yeah, not the greatest. It is filthy though. It's got cat hair on it, if you can believe that. Hi Dana, thanks for joining. They didn't knock the iMac over. They knocked the table that the iMac was on. And as Steve and Greg Hrutkay can attest, the table that I have here is extremely wobbly. So, yeah, that's kind of the idea, Trina. I don't know what's wrong with it. It quit working. So, and this particular one was working. This is a 15-inch iMac G4. I'd love to tell you what's in it, but to be perfectly honest with you, I don't remember. It's been so long since I touched it. I know this is an early model. So I think it's a 700 G4, but like I said, can't quote me on it because I don't totally remember, and I'm not exactly renowned for my exceptional memory. And thankfully, I keep plenty of figure 8 cables floating around. Because, you know, they had to be different and use odd power cables for these. Yes, you see how it wobbles, Dana? And you wonder how a cat knocked over a 20-inch iMac? That's how. So, remember where the power button is. Alright, so obviously this one is working. And apparently it is booting OS 10. I may not have done any... I don't remember what I may have done or did not do to this machine. The idea is that I want to install both OS 9 and OS 10 on this machine because this is an older machine that can actually do both. So, let's go to about this Mac. Okay, so this is a 700 megahertz G4 and it has 768 megs of memory. It is running Tiger 10.4.11. And I think this machine is exactly as how I got it. Yes, it is. Oh yeah, I did install UT on it. I did at least copy it over. I think I actually ran it too. I think I did this to appease Jay. Let me connect the sound. So thanks to Steve, he found me a new video capture device that actually works properly. For the most part, it seems to be having some syncing issues. Because I am not seeing any problems. I see no issues on my screen. So it may have something to do with the video settings. Huh. That is odd. Well, apparently didn't like that. Oh, be quiet, Midna. Good lord. Okay, so. Well. We obviously aren't streaming UT 2004 on here. But it does work. And, of course, now... Now I can't see what's going on. Don't give her any ideas, Steve. Alrighty, well, now that I totally borked my video capture device, yes, the kitty needs to be fixed, Trina. I have a couple of them that need to be fixed. Alright, well. So, I can't see the... now I can't see the menu of my video capture device. Dave, I would give that kitty some love. The only problem is that kitty hates everybody, including me. So, she's actually not the one that fixed the iMac, Steve. That would be Simon, actually. He's the one that loves to jump on the table. So, well, I guess we're kind of stuck here. So we're going to do as Steve suggests, and let's see if so let's go into here. There's actually a lot of stuff. There's Adobe Bridge, Go Live CS, InDesign, Photoshop. There's a lot of stuff on here. Office 2004. Phaser tools. They must have had this hooked up to a Tektronix phaser laser printer at one point in time. But we want utilities. And I'm going to kill that cat soon. Oh, let's see here. Whoops, probably this. It looks like it does have the OS 9 drivers installed. So maybe we can do as Steve suggests and just copy OS 9 onto it. Oh, let's see what we can kind of dangerous stuff we can get into here. Oh, let's see, Mac OS. And how about we do the universal install? Disk utility. Yeah, I actually did that, Steve. I did actually unplug the power from it, leave it unplugged for a couple minutes. Maybe it just kind of needs to forget itself. So, at the moment, I am erasing a USB stick, making it into a Mac drive, because I guess I had it formatted for PC. And for some reason, this computer is running exceptionally slow tonight. Sorry, I thought I had changed my screen. Instead, you're all looking at a broken capture device and an iMac screen, which is barely visible. I pressed the menu button, Steve. I couldn't see anything, and this happened the other day with it too. I had issues with it. And yeah, I unplugged it then and plugged it back in, and it seemed to work just fine. But so I think what I'm going to do is let's see here. I don't even know how big the hard drive is in this machine. I think they came with like 80s or something in them, didn't they? Oh, it's a 40 gig. Oh, wow. Well, interesting. Apparently this computer was last used in 2005, which, I don't know, seems kind of odd. This computer's in 2005 really was a lot newer than that. Wasn't really out of date then. Oh, it was created in 2005. Okay. So we have what looks like a 40 gig hard drive. The iMac G4 is, I believe, an 02 model. It's a 20-inch. It's one of the last ones that was made right before the iMac G5. So it's one that I was told that if I didn't buy it, I would be an idiot. So I bought it, and those are Greg Hrutkay's straight up words right there. Let's see if the DVD drive works on it. I assume this even has a DVD drive. I could be wrong. The disc is spinning up. Hey! So it does have a DVD drive. Yay! The GPU in this one, or the GPU in the other one? The GPU in the other one, I believe, is a NVIDIA, or I'm sorry, an ATI Radeon 9600. This particular machine, I think, has an NVIDIA in it. Like a 128 meg one, maybe. Yeah, this has a GeForce 2 MX. Oh, 32 meg one. Yeah, this is an earlier iMac. So, this is a Power Mac 4,2 is how it's identified. So this one is a 15-inch early 2003 model, apparently. Could be wrong. Oh no, this is an original iMac. This is an original. Yeah, this is an original iMac G4. The very first one. So. And then the 20-inch one, which was the most advanced iMac G4, that one, I'm looking on Mac Tracker here, that one actually has, that has an NVIDIA GeForce FX 5200, so it's not quite as good as I thought it was. It's only got 64 megs, but it works fairly well. But that one's a lot more advanced than this one is, because it's a later model. So, ooh, excuse me. All right, so let's pop out this USB stick, and this is going to be slow as balls because this only has USB 1.1 on it, of course. Okay for printers and keyboards and mice and whatnot. Not so good for file transfer. Okay, Steve, so apparently your suggestion of basically powering it off and then turning it back on seems to have done the trick. It appears to be working once again. Hello, Jay. You'll be happy to know that you missed all the PC nonsense at the very beginning of the stream and have joined while in the process of playing with the G4 iMac. And we're playing with the 15-inch one today. And say hello to Jay and Alex and Brock. And I'm not intentionally ignoring anybody, I promise. And Davison's. So, and to answer your question, no, I am not feeding them. The more that you feed them, it just encourages them to stay. So, so we're trying Steve's trick here of copying a system folder onto the hard drive. And if we go into System Preferences here, choose a Startup Disk. And it says Mac. Oh no, wait, that's the USB drive. These won't boot off a USB. Here we go. Mac OS 9.2.2 on iMac hard drive. I'm curious to see if it will actually, if it'll actually boot or not. Hi, Joe and Dylan. The cats are all over the place. Simon's sleeping on his perch. Tabby's in the kitchen. I'll go get tonight's benefactor. So tonight's stream is being sponsored by Lydia, who is a very floofy, very pretty black kitty. Mwah. She is a daddy's girl. She's also a bitch. She likes to start fights with all the other cats and the dog. But, and she's not too crazy about most people either. So, but this is Lydia. She's a pretty girl. And she is fixed. She does not make strange noises. So, say hi. They want to see you. Well, she's actually kind of digging being here right now, which is kind of weird. Usually she's trying to get away, but I think she's falling asleep. So, but this is the stream sponsor for the evening. She might actually sit. Oh, she might actually sit in my lap. Nope, that was short-lived. Okay. We want to eject that. So apparently that did work. Wow. I didn't realize it was that simple to actually make OS 9 work. Holy crap. And now we got to rebuild the desktop file. And this is just a very basic install. Thinking that since this is working, that if I boot from OS 10, completely whack the hard drive, partition it, that I might be able to install this properly. And it seems to be working just fine. It's showing all memory. So let's go into, let's see here. Oh, startup. Where is the startup disk? There it is. It's pretty cool the way it actually identifies that this version of OS 9 actually sees OS 10 too. It's just kind of slick. See if it'll boot off the DVD here. Yeah, thanks, Trina. She is cute. She's a bitchy, hairy thing, but she loves me for some reason. It's more than I can say for some people. Thank God I got my cats, because, you know, otherwise I don't know what I would have done here lately. I don't know if it's booting off the DVD or if it's booting off of, I think it's booting off the hard drive. Truthfully. I don't hear the DVD ROM drive running. Let's go to the boot picker once. And a good old classic boot picker. All right. Now I think it's booting off of the DVD. Yeah, Steve knows what he's doing when it comes to the video scaler. It's basic. The one that I have is basically just a real small version of the one that he uses every day. So, for, you know, when he does the same thing. So that's why when he said about buying this one, I said, okay. I was like, it's the one he uses, and I used it with I hooked up my IBM PS2 to it the other day when it came in the mail, and it worked perfectly. I showed the text screens and the whole nine, so it's exactly what I wanted. Because unlike the iMac here, it mirrors the display. It shows the same thing off of both ports. Unfortunately, that computer only displays video to either the internal plasma screen or the external VGA. I can't do both. So I have to be able to see what's going on in text mode. When that one would switch to graphics mode, it was fine, but the problem is I got to be able to be in text mode in order to put it into graphics mode. So, oh yeah, Steve rocks with that too. Yeah, I didn't know it was that simple. I never actually tried it. I mean, I've always installed OS 9 on a separate partition and whatnot. Well, this isn't looking too promising. I have a feeling this DVD ROM drive might be faulty. I would install this off of a FireWire hard drive, but the problem is my FireWire 400 cable is bad, and I keep forgetting to get a new one. Hopefully you guys can hear the chimes come over the stream. Not that the chime on these things is very unique. Well, it is reading the disc. I can hear it. Once I open the door, I can hear it. It's amazing how much noise this little door actually blocks out. I've just never seen it take this long to boot up OS X even off of a DVD on a computer like this. But yeah, Trina, Steve rocks, period. It doesn't really matter. Ooh. Ah, that thing's dirty. It might explain some of why the well, I'm glad there's no argument there, Trini. Steve's an awesome dude no matter what. He's really helped me out a lot over the years. And he's helped me, he's helped me out, I've helped him out. It's, we trade off back and forth. But I think it's more that he's helped me out than vice versa. Oh. Wow, this thing is exceptionally slow. Holy crap, it's doing something. Yay! Finally! Wow. Disk utility. Well, to be perfectly honest with you, Steve, my Apple III knowledge is not that great. I know enough to be dangerous. I am much more knowledgeable when it comes to the Apple II. So, I don't know. I mean, it seems to be working. It's just very slow. I mean, I know it's only a 700 megahertz G4, but oh my lord, I didn't really realize it would be this slow. And it wouldn't surprise me if the heat gets to the drives in these. I mean, they're not exactly they're not exactly the best design. Well, the profile drive was easy because they use a profile drive in a lot of machines. Alright, so we're going to partition this whopping whole huge 40 gigabyte hard drive. We're going to make it 2 partitions. We're going to make one partition roughly 30 gigs. Actually, you know what? We'll make it 25. And we're going to install OS 9 drivers on both. we're going to make this one. And this might take a while. And for that, I apologize. Sometimes this goes really fast. Sometimes it's as slow as can be. Oh no, this is actually going pretty quick. Okay. Wow, that was fast. Wow, hot damn. Alrighty. So, let's continue. Continue. I agree. We're installing Untitled 1. Install. We're going to skip checking the installation disk because it takes forever. Of course, this install might take forever too. Who knows? This drive doesn't seem to be it seems to be the happiest thing in the world. And it does seem to be working, but oh crap, you know what? I did not, Steve. Shit. Oh. A little late now. I guess I could have went without installing all the excess languages and all the printers and everything else. Oh well, let's see how it goes. Maybe it won't be too bad. Yeah, I know. Well, it could be worse. I mean, Windows installs 2 extra gigabytes of just registry nonsense and total BS, so at least in a way the 2 extra gigabytes could remotely be useful. No. It won't let me do anything at this point. Oh well. It says about 18 minutes to install. No, 19 minutes. So that means it should take about an hour. So if anybody wants to leave, I don't blame you. Since this computer seems to be exceptionally slow. I mean, I've installed this on Sawtooth with 400 megahertz G4s, and it's never been this slow. Yeah. This is why I usually don't film this kind of stuff, because it takes forever, to install an operating system on a computer. I mean, this only takes about 15 minutes on a G5. So, And Lydia has decided to grace her presence and see what her patron is up to. Hi, baby. So, in the meantime, I guess what we'll try to do is see if my super drive will actually eject. It works when it wants to, just like everything else in this house. Sometimes it's nice enough to not even show up as an actual working drive. Hey, there we go. So let's burn. Let's see here. This is right, yeah. So let's burn this to disk. Yeah, Steve, what are you making for dinner? I had fried fungus and a bacon cheeseburger sub, much to Steve's chagrin. He was okay with the fried fungus, but not with the cheeseburger sub. Oh, it actually sounds kind of good. Roasted veggies. I like roasted veggies. Yes, fried fungus. Fried mushrooms, Trina. I love fried mushrooms. I think that's a Pennsylvania thing. I don't see them too often outside of Pennsylvania. Oh my God, his damn McRibs. Yeah, Steve is a vegan. Although I have to admit, I did the last time I was over at Steve's house, I tried one of those impossible, what the hell was it called? Impossible sliders from White Castle, and it actually wasn't too bad. my lord, Steve. Next thing I know, you're going to be driving around in a freaking Volkswagen bus or something. Although you do have a Chrysler minivan. It's close enough. And a Prius. So I guess you are a hippie. You have a Prius. So I should say, the next thing I know, you're going to be driving around in an electric car. Yeah, you've definitely hauled tons of crap in that Prius. I'll tell you what, you've definitely made use of the copious amounts of space one of those cars have. So, all right. So that burned. Now let's see if we can install it. It's an art like Tetris. Oh my god, yeah, it is. So we're going to So what we're going to do is this is a copy of Windows XP Tablet Edition. And we're going to try installing it under Parallels here. Well, we're not going to try to install. We're going to install it under Parallels first, because I've downloaded several versions of quote-unquote Tablet Edition, and it has not turned out to be what I am looking for. It seems to be a lot of times that it just turns out to be a version of Windows XP, not the actual tablet edition. Okay, so why is it not well, fine. You want it to be like this? We'll just do it this way then. Hey Sean, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Oh. I tell you what, you've never played Tetris until you've played Tetrisphere on the Nintendo 64, guys. That is like the funnest game in the world. Okie donkey. Oh my goodness. Yes, autocorrect on Macs and iPhones is absolutely hilarious sometimes. Well, we got about 52 minutes left on the install of OS 10 on the iMac. I wonder what will be done first. Can we install Windows XP on a virtual machine, or can we install OS 10 on a G4? Taking bets now. Hey Matt, hey Steve, if you got the N64, I got the cartridge. At least I think I still have the cartridge, I should say. I used to be really good at it. I was never a big Tetris fan, but I don't know, playing Tetris in 3D is actually kind of cool, to be honest with you. And it's not something I've been able to find on like a virtual console or anything like that for like with my Wii or anything. It's weird. I guess it wasn't a very popular game. I got the cartridge, oh my god, probably 20 plus years ago when we had a drugstore chain called Farmore going out of business, and they used to have a videotape and video game rental area, and they were selling off all their inventory for like next to nothing. And I bought like any Nintendo 64 game that looked remotely interesting from them. And this was in like I think 99 or 2000. I ended up buying a whole bunch of VHS tapes, and most of them were pretty worn out, but you know, they still watchable. And I bought a whole bunch of N64 games. I'm installing XP on a virtual machine because I want to make sure that this is the actual version of Windows that I want. I've tried looking for the tablet edition of Windows XP many times, and I always get burned and just end up with a generic copy of Windows XP Professional instead of the actual tablet edition. And as well as, you know, Windows XP Professional is fine, but it doesn't do me any good when I actually want the tablet edition features. So that's why I'm installing it on a virtual machine, so that I'm not going through and wasting an hour of time installing it onto an actual computer when it's not what I want. This seems to be one of the more elusive versions of Windows XP for some reason, and I don't know why. I mean, you can download Windows XP almost anywhere, but finding the actual tablet edition has been difficult. That, and if there's any viruses or anything else in it, it'll get stuck in my virtual machine and not an actual computer. So it's just a safeguard. I do this, as you see. I mean, I've got now Windows 7 I actually do use on here. That I actually install on purpose. That is for personal use. Not that I really use it very often, but I do have Windows 7. Windows XP. I think that was a previous time I tried this same exact thing. The OS2 Warp 4 actually works, sort of. It's not fully working or not, but it does work. That I was just actually playing around with because I like OS2. Oh yeah, Gold. You know what? I think I might have GoldenEye, but I don't know if I ever played it. Hey, I could play a Nintendo 64 for 6 hours. I'd be okay with that. I love the N64. It was a great console. I've never been a big console gaming person. I still am not. But the N64 was probably... It was the first console I ever personally owned. I mean, I got into it very late in the game, obviously. You know, the Nintendo was out when I was a kid. I think I was 8 years old when the Nintendo came out. The original Nintendo. But my parents would never buy one. Well, my dad would never buy one because he thought it would rot my brain. So instead, he got a computer, and so instead the computer rotted my brain. Yeah, it sounds like a great activity to me, Steve. I wish I still had an N64. Unfortunately, mine died, and I haven't been able to afford a replacement. Now that would actually be kind of cool. We'll set it up. We'll have your computer stream it, and then we'll have a camera pointing at us so that people can see how stupid we look while we're playing the N64. I'm trying to think, what cartridges do I have left? Oh, I didn't. Oh, so let's see here. What do we have? So we have Bomberman 64. Of course, Tetrasphere. And this is one that I bought from Farmore. It was a rental. Actually, no, that one wasn't. I have F-Zero X. I'm not sure where that one came from. Xena Warrior Princess, the Talisman of Fate. I have a feeling that my stepdaughter got this one. I have Beetle Adventure Racing. This is actually kind of funny. It's kind of fun. Let's see what we have. California Speed. And apparently I bought this one from Hollywood Video. Probably. Oh no, I got this from. No, it looks like I got this from GameStop. Oh my god. It has a. Well, you can barely see it, but it looks like an old GameStop sticker on the side. So I must have bought it at GameStop. But it originally came from Hollywood Video. WWF No Mercy. I have no idea where that came from. And Shadow Man. I have no clue. I know I had more games than this, but I'm not exactly sure where they... Because I know I used to have... I do have both Zelda games, but they're locked up. They're locked up in my shed. And I had Turok... I swear I had Turok and Turok 2 for the N64. But I don't know where they came. I may have lent them out to somebody and totally forgot that I lent them to somebody because I don't have a Nintendo 64. But those are at least those are the games I have sitting on the shelf for the N64. Like I said, I don't have an N64, but I have games for it. I have controllers too. I think I even have a power supply. don't know if Jay's watching or not. He probably isn't, but I forgot I even had this. But I just collect video games for some stupid reason. I don't know why. I don't play them. But I have Unreal Tournament for the PlayStation 3. I've never played it. I've never even put it in the console. But I bought it probably because it was Unreal Tournament. And I should play it one of these days. I have a crap load of PlayStation 2 and 3 games. Hey, I hear noise. That I've probably bought most of at a thrift store. Oh, let's see what's going on here. Hey, holy shit. I think we hit pay dirt. That on-screen keyboard is a dead giveaway that this is tablet edition. Hey, Windows XP was an awesome operating system. Still is, to be perfectly honest with you. It's just, it's very, very hard to get online with it anymore. I mean, Windows XP is basically the PC equivalent to OS 10.4, I would say. Great operating system. Very solid, very stable, extremely usable. But unfortunately, it is almost 20 years out of date now. And actually, it's kind of funny because 10.4 and Windows XP came out around the same time. Trying to think. I think 10.4 came out in 03? 04? I'm not exactly sure. Steve could answer that. We still got 17 minutes actually on the iMac, and it's installing the printer drivers right now, so if it wasn't for that, we'd probably be done. Oh, damn machine. It's installing Epson printer drivers right now. Hey, it even said... Oh, that was my computer. So, yeah, the on-screen keyboard here is a dead giveaway that we got tablet edition. Yep, get going with tablet. Yep, welcome to Tablet PC. Oh, that's freaking awesome. That's exactly what I wanted. Yep, here's tablet and pen settings. Oh, go away. Should be one more time to activate. Where is there this system? And this is, I always think this is funny. It's running on an Intel Xeon CPU of 5675 at 3.07 gigahertz, which is like 10 times anything that was available when Windows XP was new. Oh gosh, that's funny. Oh, it actually picked up my USB cameras. That's pretty cool. Yeah, dual Xeon processors. Cool. That's pretty neat. I wonder if it'll let me activate. I haven't been able to activate Windows over the internet for a long time. Hey, dysfunctional Wombat. Yeah, Wombat. Hi, Sad Mac. Hey, Ashton. Hey, now it's installing Lexmark printer drivers. Yeah. So yeah, you still can't activate Windows XP online. You can't activate Windows 7 online anymore either. So well, this is exactly what they said it was. Tablet PC Edition 2005, Service Pack 3. Cool. That's exactly what I wanted. That is freaking awesome. So now I can install that onto the Samsung and the Panasonic and get my tablet functions working like they're supposed to. And I'm just going to leave that on there as a version of Windows XP because it is a very usable version of Windows XP. And just for the hell of it, here's OS2 Warp 4. So if anybody wants to play with OS2 Warp 4, and this version of OS2 Warp is really cool because you can actually run Windows 3 applications right inside of OS2 Warp. You don't have to have the actual copy of. I mean, it does have a version. It does have a full version of Windows installed, but with like the older versions, you used to have to actually boot Windows and then run the program. With OS2 Warp 4, the Windows software works natively inside of the OS2 desktop. So, like, here's the program manager, which is Windows. I mean, it's like the core version of Windows. And, here's all your applications. And of course, here it is, WinOS2 Program Manager, copyright IBM and Microsoft. And, and then you could just close it. But you don't have to actually, whoops. It's cool because you don't have to actually have Windows, like a full-blown version of Windows running to make it work. So, Microsoft Diagnostics. I'll tell you what, OS2 Warp is a freaking awesome operating system. Oh crap. It's fast. It is very fast and very flexible. It's the last version of OS2 that was made. Unfortunately, I can't get this version to work the best with Parallels because it's not really made for it. But it does. I mean, it does work. So yeah, I hope you. I'd like to see OS2 Warp running on an actual computer again. I'd love to install at least Warp 3 on my PS2, but the problem is the hard drive is just way too small. Now it's installing French. Parlez-vous français? Oui? Oh my goodness. What kind of compact per linea do you have that you want to put OS2 on? Oh, Spanish. I find that OS2 Warp really, or at least Warp 4 wants a very, very high-end 486 to run smoothly. Warp 3 runs pretty good on a 386DX with a good hard drive. Ah, funny. That's hilarious, Steve. Oh, dude, you're going to computer reset? Oh, that's awesome. I'm trying to talk Steve into going to computer reset, but he doesn't seem too keen on the idea. I think it's something along the lines of his wife killing him or something. I mean, I've been trying to get him to do something totally freaking insane for a while now, but he's just not real keen on the idea of driving to Texas and picking up a bunch of stuff and filling up his minivan. Although, truthfully, I don't think he would ever regret doing it. That's pretty cool that you can go down there and you're actually close enough to do it. I mean, it would be like it would probably be like a 2-day drive just for us to get there. So I'm trying, Steve. Apparently, it's not working because you're still alive. Oh my goodness. I'd love just to go down just to look. I mean, if I can't buy anything, at least I'd love to look. You know, Compact Pro Linea is a very good machine. Just find him an IBM System 360 or 370. He'll be okay with that. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if there's one hiding in there somewhere, to be honest with you. Hey, Laser Raider 2 NT, they're good. LaserWriter 2s, Steve, weren't they based on HP LaserJet engines, or were they still or not Epson? Oh crap! Was it Brother? I think. I can't remember. I think it was a Brother printer that the LaserWriter was based on. I know one of the LaserWriter series was based on a HP LaserJet. I can't remember if it's a LaserWriter 2 or... Sorry this is taking so long. I wasn't intending this to take this long. I should have told it not to install all the extra languages and printers, because I don't really speak any of these languages. So. And even if I did, I truthfully, I'd be happy with my computer being in English. Oh, was it a Canon? Okay, I wasn't sure. I knew the style writers were Canons. I couldn't remember if the LaserWriters were too. Oh, I'm installing Korean right now. But I did finish installing Finished. I mean, how could you not finish the Finnish language, you know? So does anybody else actually use any of the additional language packs that come with OS? Or I don't even think these come with OS 10 anymore. I think you have to download whatever version, whichever language you want anymore. Yeah, you're like me, Greg. You only speak English and bad English. I can understand German, but I can't speak it for crap. Most of my mother's side of the family, although none of them are alive anymore, used to speak German because my mother's parents were from Germany. Yeah, I don't typically install the language pack for it either. Because the next thing I know, it's going to say, do you want to do something with the Finder, and the word Finder is going to be like 3,000 letters long because of the way that the German language is. It's insane. Only in Germany can they condense like an entire sentence down to one huge ass word. It's like, I understand Spanish to a degree, but I don't install the language pack for it. And I definitely don't install Brazilian Portuguese typically. Oh, there you go. Now, Trina, do you speak any French up there, or is it strictly English where you're at? Because I know there's some parts of I can't remember where exactly. Is it Toronto, or that there's a lot of bilingual French Canadian and English speakers up there. Oh, okay. I can't remember exactly where the French Canadian portion of Canada is. I thought it was Toronto, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I'll admit, I'm kind of an ignorant American when it comes to that. So, oh, okay. I do know that Toronto is in Ontario province, though. I do know where that is. Yeah, Quebec, I believe, is largely bilingual, but that's not even close to where Toronto is. Oh. Okay. See, I wasn't sure if like the whole country was like bilingual, and I know that most of Canada speak English, but I wasn't sure if like the whole country like learned French, or if it was just certain parts of the country. Yay! I'm not waiting another 30 seconds. I just waited a freaking hour. Okay. See, I learn something new every day, Trina. And I'm not afraid to admit that I'm kind of ignorant when it comes to things such as that. Because I'll be the first one to admit I never really paid much attention. I just know that there's portions of Canada that speak French. And after years of working in convenience stores along the American highway system, you get people of all cultures. And I've actually had a lot of French Canadians come down over the years. So okay. I have never been to Canada. I'd like to go there. I've been very close to it, being in Niagara Falls, but I've never actually entered the country. Of course, now you can't. You can barely even move from state to state, nonetheless, trying to cross an international border. Well, thank you for teaching us, Trina. I appreciate it. I like learning about other cultures. Okay, I have to turn that off because apparently the music for this is copyrighted, and that'll grant me a copyright strike. But we can watch the video. I love how it asks me to choose the keyboard and it says US or Canadian. I don't really understand that there's a difference between US and Canadian keyboards. I mean, I guess there would be if it's a French Canadian keyboard. I didn't even realize this thing had an airport card in it. Yeah, it's got to be an airport B card. Hey, that'd be cool, Trina. I would take you up on it. From where I'm located. It's 5 hours to the border. It's probably like another, I guess, hour and a half to Toronto. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Come here. Come on. You can do it. Come on, boy. case anyone's wondering, Simon showed up. One of these days I'm going to have just like a little half-hour stream with nothing but cats. just for the hell of it. So hopefully someday somebody can meet you guys can meet all of my cats, because I have 10 of them. Hi. Love you too. Wow, this thing is horribly slow. Oh my goodness. I think Apple must have put the slowest hard drive humanly possible in this thing. I think you met most of them, Greg. Oh, you're from Ontario, Ashton. Oh, well, I'm glad that I'm reaching outside of the United States, even if it is just Canada. Hi, Simon. What? So now I'm going to copy over the OS 9 system to the second hard drive partition. And that should hopefully give me my dual boot that I need. I'm not offending the Canadians. I'm thanking them for their viewership. Oh, we'll install updates a little later. Huh. Yeah, this one is not fast at all. So, I think this is like the barest of the bare bones iMac G4s. Because, I mean, I've owned a couple of these over the years, and yeah, I've never had one this slow. So, well, Canada's not exactly that far away. It's not exactly what I call hugely international, Greg. I mean, I can drive to Canada in 6 hours. Less than 6 hours. Hey, Floof. Yeah, it's a 700 megahertz, Greg. It's like one of the early. It's the earliest iMac G4. So, oh, sorry to hear that, Ashton. They're wanting to do that. They're wanting to do that here too. I'm hoping they don't. You know, the government down here can't decide which toilet they want to use half the time, nonetheless, anything else. So, oh, okay, Ashton. Well, my ex-fiance's family lives in Sanborn, New York, which is maybe 15 minutes outside of Niagara Falls. So that's, I'm familiar with that area up there. So I can be there in about a little over 5 hours. Hi, are you talking to everybody? Are you talking to everybody? Are you telling everybody hi? You don't understand a word I'm saying, do you? No, you can't hear a word I'm saying, can you, you deaf bastard? So, yeah, I hope you make out okay up there, Ashton. At least the Canadian government seems to know their ass from a hole in the ground when it comes to, helping their people out, unlike, the United States. There's people like me who get kind of screwed on everything because I'm an independent contractor. I work for myself, so I don't qualify for unemployment. I don't qualify for most welfare benefits. So the whole whopping $1,200 that they sent us to try to help us out, well, that didn't last. That didn't even last 2 minutes. So I couldn't claim unemployment or anything, so it sucked. I couldn't exactly take off work for the whole time we were shut down, even though we were only working half days. Sorry to hear that, dysfunctional wombat. If you're anywhere near the Harrisburg area, let me know. $500 a week. That's nice. That's more than I make in a week. I make $400 a week. This is just my base. I mean, I have other things that I do to make money, but unfortunately, with everything being the way things are, yeah, it's good that the government's actually helping people up there. They're not doing it here, and tens of thousands of people are losing their homes because of it. So yeah, true. I mean, I know it's Canadian dollars, but $400 a week doesn't go very far here. So, well, hey, $300 is $300. I mean, if we get shut down, if something happens and we get shut down and we lose business again, I mean, what am I going to do? My side job, besides, I mean, this isn't a job. I don't make any money off of this. This cost me a crap load of money to do this kind of stuff for you guys, and so I mean, I have a Patreon, and it'd be nice if I made a couple $1,000s a month doing this, but unfortunately I don't make anything. I mean, my Patreon totals is I think $10 or $12 a month. So, but I do work for NCR, National Cash Register, and I do service calls for them. But unfortunately, with the retail sector and everything being what it is, I haven't had a lot of calls. I think I've had 4 calls since March or April, because a lot of businesses aren't open, so their equipment's not breaking down, and it's just kind of crazy. Hi, Floof. Now we have a Prada. Prada decided he wanted to join us. So, it's good, Ashton. I mean, we have a really good business. I'm a mechanic for a living, so that's what I do. That's my full-time job, and I work for my stepfather. So, I'm already getting screwed because it's family. And, he doesn't like paying any more than he has to. This has been a bad year to try to coax a raise out of him because of the way things have been. I mean, business is back to... It's back, but it's not like it was. But, the only plus side is that at least when we were closing up early at work during the bulk of the shutdown earlier this year, he was still paying me. So, Yeah, I mean, I run my business out of my apartment too. My computer business. But I really haven't had any business. I mean, last year... Oh my God! Last year I probably made an extra $20,000 just doing NCR service calls. This year I'm lucky if I've made $5,000 all year. I've actually thought about driving for like Uber Eats or something. So, well, that's good. Yeah. Stability is always important, It wasn't too bad when, I still had my fiance here with me and we were, pooling our resources because she works in healthcare. So it's not like she's ever going to get laid off or anything because of all this crap. And, but now I don't have her, and so I gotta make all the bills by myself here. Oh, Midna, I am gonna shoot you. So, and it's it's rough when I try to budget for I try to budget for computer stuff so I can I can try to make content on YouTube, but it's been kind of hard lately. Alright, so let's see if we can boot OS 922 now. But I've thought of I've thought about going out and just driving for like Uber Eats or Grubhub or something. I mean, my little Saturn gets good enough fuel economy that it wouldn't be a big hit on my wallet fuel wise, and I could make I could work when I wanted to. And make an extra. If I made an extra $50 a day or something, hell, I'd be golden. Just do it enough to finance my computer habit. So, yeah, Trina, I've done the same thing. I've looked into retail space, and it wouldn't be $10,000 a month, but it would definitely be up there price wise. God, this mouse is horrible. Hey, Steve. Yeah, I booted into Mac OS 9. Hey, bro. What are you doing? Quit bugging cats. To be honest with you, treating a puck mouse right now would probably be working better. Although puck mice don't really go with iMac G4s. This is actually the keyboard. I think this is the keyboard that goes with this computer. This is not the mouse. This is a Mighty Mouse, wired Mighty Mouse. It's optical, but it's not. It doesn't work for crap. It's probably just filthy. Which around here would surprise me. Everything in this house is messy. Cord. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all this to this drive. Alright, we'll probably still be here for a little bit. I'm probably going to end this probably around 9. Floofinator. You're a floof. You're a floof. No, Ashton, I'm in Pennsylvania. Steve is in New Jersey. Steve is about 2.5 hours away from me. I'm about 15 minutes outside of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Far enough away to be quiet and in the sticks, but close enough to be convenient to everything. Yeah, just Steve's in New Jersey. Oh God, Steve. Oh, Steve. Steve is the insane one. I'm not nearly as insane as he is. Well, Ashton, if you're ever down in South Central Pennsylvania, you know, give me a holler. We can meet up. Prada, I'm not food. Quit eating me. Don't eat me. Jerk. Alright, so let's go in here to startup disk. Yeah, I do. I live in Marysville. That's right, you're from here, so you know where Marysville is. And yes, Steve, Prada is being very bad. But he's so cute and floofy. And then he just looks at you with those kitten eyes, and yeah, if you're ever in the area, I mean, contact me. Or Steve and I could meet up, and we could drive up to northern New York somewhere. Well, we could all meet up somewhere. Okay, so now we're back in OS 10. And as you see, I have a very bad kitty on my lap. He thinks he's cute. And he would be right. He's very cute. He's very sweet. And he's very bad. You're bad. You're floofy and you're bad. Yes, you are. You're floofy. You are floofy. You are so floofy. Sorry, I get sidetracked by the cats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this system folder over to this drive. We're going to replace the system folder that's on that drive. Well, Steve, if you come over here and we drive up to New York, there are no tolls. This is Pennsylvania, not New Jersey. We don't rake you over the coal for tolls just to move from county to county. Oh, I'll remember that, Ashton. And it's good there's no musical experience required because I ain't got none. I love music. I can't make music. If you ask me to play an instrument, believe me, you're going to want earplugs. Ow, Prada! It's my leg. Oh, Steve, it's only $1 to come over to Pennsylvania, for crying out loud. It costs you less to come over here than it costs me to go there. It cost me $2 just to go through the Raritan toll booth on the freaking Parkway. Yeah, Musical abilities, I have none. If you could get me playing drums in 10 minutes, I'd be willing to learn. Oh, don't hiss at me. I always wanted to learn an instrument in school, but my parents would never go for it. So we're going to drag these to the trash. Oh, whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. Damn it. Okay. So I actually want this folder. Steve, that'll only buy you like 5 capacitors, you idiot. It costs you more in gas to drive over here than it does in tolls. It's not like where you have to pay, what, $15 just to get over the Tappan Zee Bridge into Manhattan, for crying out loud. It cost me a whole $3.90 in tolls to drive from my house to New Jersey and back. But it cost me like $18 or $20 in gas. Oh my gosh, Trina. You're a trip. Trust me, $1 isn't going to hurt Steve. That guy makes more money in a month than I do in 6, so he's blessed that he has a good job. Alright, Steve, take care. Tell your wife I said hi. I'm just trying to get a full copy of OS 9 installed, and then I'm going to call it quits for the day. Well, the toll roads in Pennsylvania are the best ones in Pennsylvania. We only have one toll road in Pennsylvania, and that's the Turnpike. I'm not sure where the toll money from the or not the interchange, but the toll plaza coming into Pennsylvania goes. I've always wondered that. Steve, you collect everything. Doesn't matter what it is. Rabbits, computers, old video games. I'll talk to you later, Steve. Have a good night. Well, the screwed up thing with Pennsylvania, Ashton, is the fact that the Pennsylvania Turnpike is actually private. It's not actually owned by the state. But they have to pay so much money to the state every year that the tolls keep going up exponentially, and of course they have to pay for the Pennsylvania State Police to patrol it. So oh, that's right, I forgot you're from Duncannon. Well, they just redid 11 and 15 between Marysville and Duncannon again, because it was in such bad shape. So, or I should say they did a large chunk of it. Not to mention that they had to fix all the rock retaining walls and whatnot because of being at the base of a mountain. Alright, so throw that away. Throw this away. And throw this away. Okay. Oh, whoops. Oh, it's a lot better than it used to be, at least between Marysville and Duncannon. Once you start getting up towards Selinsgrove, they're working up there, but well, Ashton, I live in a town that is literally at the base of a mountain. I live in an area right between a mountain and a river, so it's a little on the insane side. Everything from here is up. So yeah, I mean, Harrisburg's a beautiful city too if you're looking at it from a distance. You know, you drive down along the river on my side of the river, and you look across, especially at night, and you see Harrisburg. It's an absolutely beautiful city, but man, I wouldn't want to be I don't like going into Harrisburg, at least not in the city. It's horrible. The freaking crime rate is through the roof, and it's even worse this year. You know, luckily I live in a sleepy little town where, you know, the cops pretty much just hang out because they don't have anything better to do. They just redid that a few years ago too, the little Statue of Liberty. Okay. Oh. Hey, a welcome video for OS 9. Check this out. Missy. Come here, pretty girl. Hey, pretty girl. Hi, pretty girl. Ugh, really? You're a floofing jerk. Ugh. So, it looks like we are back in business with a dual boot iMac. Connect to the airport here. I didn't even know it would come on the first time. So we got a fresh install of OS 9.2.2. Yep. All the memories there. PowerPC 700. We're using the airport to connect. Although it says there's no link. There's a serial number for you, Jay, if you want to add it to your library. So, I've now accomplished what I set out to accomplish. First thing we need to do is we need to change the settings on this freaking mouse. Oh my lord. Oh, no wonder. Tracking set down to tablet speed. Ah. Oh, much, much better. Oh my goodness. No. Leopard goes on nothing. Absolutely nothing in this house. I do not use Leopard. Tiger or nothing. Assuming it'll run Tiger. I kind of miss the I miss OS 9. I really do. I was always a big fan of OS 9. Let's see here. What else? Yay! The LCD on this thing is really nice. Oh, that's right. They took out the wild eep. So sue me.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, I ran OS 9.2.2 on my workgroup server 8550 for years. Because I actually used that computer well into the OS 10 days. So... I actually didn't even get into I didn't actually get into OS 10 until probably about 4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. Because I demoed the very first version of OS 10 and I was not impressed with it. So I kind of stayed away from it. Yay, Ruby phone. Oh, let's see here. What else can we get into? Oh, yeah, date and time. So we could set the time zone to Philadelphia. And it actually worked. So now I don't have to worry about the battery not being in it. Yeah, I was not impressed with Cheetah at all, and honestly, that's kind of what put me off of using OS 10 for the longest time. It wasn't until I got a G5 a few years ago, actually the first true G series computer I ever got, that I really got into OS 10, and it was, of course, it was 10.4. So, but oh, what am I? I guess that's about it. Well, that's a hell of a battery on your titanium PowerBook if it's running at 101%. Who remembers this? iTunes 2. Unfortunately, you can't stream anything anymore, and there is no iTunes store, so I can't even download any of my music. And if I copied my music over, it would probably take up my music library is somewhere in the 30 gig range. So, but so this will definitely work for what I need. In case anybody's wondering, I did a video a while back on Vrij PCs. Well, this is going to be the Vrij Macintosh. So that's why I wanted to set this machine up. I have another one. I have a Quicksilver too, which would actually be more suited to the job, but it takes up a lot more space. So I mean, the Quicksilver would definitely be fast. Although this is actually running a lot faster now. Since the first boot up, it's definitely booking along a lot faster. So, but the nice thing about a system like this is, so I can connect to server, and we can browse. Maybe. Browse. Okay. That's probably because that router is on a different subnet. Oh. You can go ahead. I won't be offended. That's weird. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is why I wanted to connect to, this is why I wanted to use this particular computer, because now I can connect to my Mac Pro, and this is one of the hard drives on my Mac Pro. I have I think 14 of them mounted at the moment. Oh, I don't care, Dave. Go ahead. You can make me look like a jerk. I just don't care for Leopard. I've never been a big fan of it. I have used it. It's not like I haven't used it, and I'm just saying it arbitrarily. I've used it. It's not a bad operating system. It's just it is slow. I just find it to be extremely slow and hoggish overall. Tiger just seems to run much more efficiently, and it's a lot leaner because there's two separate versions of Tiger. There's an Intel and a PowerPC version, and unlike Leopard, they grouped it all together. So the operating system's overly bloated, you know. So I just prefer to run Tiger. I think it's a far superior system. And out of the 5 available Mac OS versions to run on a G4, I just feel that Tiger is the best. So I mean, there's going to be people who are say, "Oh, Leopard's better, Leopard," and yeah, but Leopard does away with classic mode. So now a lot of this doesn't apply to G4, but like on a G5, and I have several G5s. First of all, Leopard runs slower. It takes up more system memory than Tiger does. It does away with the classic mode, so I can't run any OS 9 apps because you can't boot a G5 under OS 9 at all. There is no way to do it. It's impossible. So you have to use classic mode in order to run anything that runs under OS 9. And Leopard just takes up way more hard drive space. So, you know, I just prefer to run Tiger. That, and I actually own a copy of Tiger, so I just use it wherever I can. I don't actually own Leopard. I don't even have a copy of Leopard, to be honest with you. Okay, why am I getting a spinning beach ball? Wow. Alrighty. Well, I think... Oh no, it didn't lock up. Well, might as well have. Yeah, I know. I done broke it, didn't I, Trina? I did a really good job. That's what happens when you try to connect Tiger to Mojave. I guess they just don't speak to each other. I've done it. I know it can be done. In general, OS 10 machines, no matter what version they are, pretty much talk to each other without too much trouble. That's why I'm surprised at having this kind of issue. Oh, well, that just mounted right up. Oh, I bet I know what it is. I bet I know what the problem was. Yep. I bet you that disc is sleeping right now. I am willing to bet you that the slush drive is probably sound asleep at the moment. Because that is a spinner, and it goes to sleep. Yep, that's what it was. It's awake now. There we go. I bet that's what the problem was. Because I could be wrong. I know that it's awake and it's here because I'm looking at it right now on my Mac Pro. Huh. Well, this is weird. I don't understand what's going on here. I don't know why I can talk to the classic Mac drive. Perfectly fine. And this is this here is an external USB drive. This here is an internal 2 terabyte spinner. Yeah. That is kind of funny. Geriatric cheetah. That's funny. You know, I actually kind of miss Mac OS being named after cats. You know, because I'm a cat lover in general. You know, I don't know what possessed them to change from naming it after cats to naming it after landmarks in California. You know, I mean, Mac OS Big Sur just sounds ridiculous. You know, naming it after Catalina Island and the Mojave Desert and stuff like that is actually kind of cool, but you know, because I mean, Tiger was one of the best versions of Mac OS they made. Snow Leopard was one of the best Mac OSs they made. Lion was okay. I don't have any experience with Mountain Lion. As a matter of fact, after Snow Leopard, I jumped right to El Cap, which is a great operating system. Even today, it's still very usable. I still use it every day. So, I mean, I use Mojave. Mojave is not bad. I find it works fairly well. And I'm using it on a single processor Mac Pro. And I think it works fine. I have Catalina on my Mac Mini at work, and it's absolutely freaking horrible. I hate it. I can't stand it. It made my computer so freaking slow, it's not even funny. Of course, I don't have any experience with Big Sur because, you know, I have no reason to run that. I'm just doing some customization here. Forgive me. Jaguar through Snow Leopard, Yosemite, and Mojave. Yeah, I don't have any experience with Yosemite. I have used Jaguar. It doesn't seem to be too bad. I've used that on G3 Macs. But El Capitan is a solid operating system. I mean, I have no issues with it. I still use it on Mac Pros at work because I still have several Mac Pro 1,1 machines in service at work, as well as a 2012 Mac Mini, and you know, I ran Mojave on the Mac Mini for a long time and never had issues with it until it automatically updated to Catalina, which really pissed me off. So, Yeah, I wasn't. Unfortunately, I was in the Windows ecosphere when Yosemite and all them came out. So I was using Windows up until they basically they end of life Windows 7. When they announced the end of life for Windows 7, that's when I moved to back to Mac OS full time. And hey, I mean, it is what it is. If you like Windows 10 and it does what you need it to, I'm not like Jay. I'm not going to hate you for using Windows. I just prefer Mac OS. I think it's a lot more stable and easier to deal with. Plus, I run a Mac OS based server at work, so I have not had real positive experiences with Windows 10, but then again, I used it when it first came out, so it's possible things have changed since then. I still prefer to have Windows 7 personally. I had thought about maybe trying Windows 10 on that Lenovo ThinkPad, because it should be able to run. I mean, I understand Windows 10 can run on much lower end hardware than previous versions of Windows could. So yeah. That's one thing that kind of always annoyed me with Windows. It seems like Windows runs great for a while, and then it gets to the point where you basically have to wipe your hard drive and start over again, and before it starts running good again. I've been running the same install of Mojave on my computer for over a year now, and I have not had any issues with it. I mean, I have plenty of hardware. I mean, I have a 6-core 3.06 gigahertz Xeon processor. I have 64 gigabytes of RAM. I have two 512 meg SSDs, and then I also have a 2 terabyte spinning drive inside the computer. I have two 500 gigabyte external hard drives, a 320 gigabyte external hard drive in a dock, and I have a cat that is going to drive me absolutely freaking insane. So I'm going to turn airport off and go into here. Okay. Cool. I think this is supposed to be ruby red after the iMac, the ruby iMac. At least that's my guess. Because this would have been, this still would have been relevant when the iMac was around. So let's go into here. Let's see what we can still do here. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame anybody for using Windows. I mean, I use Windows on occasion. I just don't use it as a everyday thing. Huh. Okay. Wonder why I can't find Google.com. That's... Huh. Yeah, I grew up in a Windows household myself. Um, my dad was strictly PC. I used Macs and Apple IIs in school, but I never owned one until I was in high school. I got a Mac 512. Excuse me a minute. Big increase. Not you too, Missy. Oh my gosh. Huh. Well, I don't know why we're not connecting to anything on the internet. We are on the internet. Let me turn the airport back on once. Well, this is OS 9, so my choice of browsers is very limited. And I don't, I mean, these browsers weren't exactly made for the modern internet. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that I thought about that after I turned the airport back on. There we go. Hey, there we go. Yeah, we had Ashton. We had when I was in high school, and this is in mid '90s. I know I'm dating myself. We had PCs when I was in high school. We had a computer lab full of IBM PS2 286 machines. We had a brand new lab of way brand new 486 SX25s, and then scattered throughout most of the school we had mostly old PS2 386 machines that they had retired from elsewhere in the district and stuff, stuff like that. So it was It was very PC centered, and that was mainly because the world is and still is PC centered. So we did have a couple of Mac SEs in our graphics lab running desktop publishing programs, hooked up to a laser writer, an original laser writer. And of course, this was like 94, 95, so these computers were, they were 7, 8 years old, but they were still very usable. We did have one SE that had a 200 meg external hard drive and a 2-page display hooked up to a Radius 2-page display, which was cool as crap. So yeah, and you see that's the problem. If you can go to a Mac and it does everything you need, then you're golden. But if you need, that's the problem with, and people don't understand that with Windows and Mac, is just because you have it on Windows doesn't mean you're going to have it on a Mac. So, and that's where a lot of the problem comes in. That first of all, the Mac is expensive. Where you can buy a piece of crap PC for $300 or $400, but the cheapest Mac is going to cost you a minimum of $800. So already you're paying a premium, and then you have the software for it, assuming that you can find the software you need. Now I'm lucky, in my job, I'm lucky that I'm the guy who does all the computer work, so I basically get to choose what we use. I chose to use Macs, so if we ran an IBM RS6000 from 1994 until 2016, with a Power 1 601 processor, and hooked up to we had two 3810, I think, terminals, and then several IBM PS2 Model 30 286s running DOS with a 3270 terminal emulator and a couple of other DOS programs. So, and we ran everything under AIX. So we were able to find somebody who was able to export the core data from the programs that we had to FileMaker. So now we can use FileMaker. So, but we went from an absolutely ancient technology to something fairly modern. And even now our system, everything runs off of a 2005 iMac, or not iMac, a 2005 Power Mac G5. So, I'm just curious. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to load. So, hey, Facebook sort of loads. Yeah, I don't use Linux. I don't have. I have experience with AIX, so I can get around Linux, but I don't use it. So. So there it is. I'm going to shut this down. Whoops. come back here. So that's the iMac G3. And now that I have a copy of Windows Tablet Edition, I think I might be playing around with some PCs tonight. Probably starting with the Samsung. So, or the Panasonic, I'm not sure which. So, I'll have to dig out my external DVD-ROM drive for both of those because neither one of them has an optical drive. So, I'm going to call it a night. I'm not going to call it a night. I'm going to get off of here and let you all do what you need to do because we've been here for 3.5 hours now. Didn't seem like it, but we have been. So, I don't know if you guys can see Missy in the background here. That's a little Miss. She's a pretty girl. She's very skittish though, so I don't try picking her if she hates being picked up. She'll claw my face to death if I try. But she's chilling on top of the Apple IIe right now. So, and I'm going to get back to those two machines here eventually. The Apple IIe needs the keyboard fixed, and it works fine. But the Apple II Plus underneath of it needs power supply work. So, hey Missy, oh, you gonna let me pet you? Okay. She lets me pet her on her terms, so which are usually pretty strict. So, yeah, she types on the Apple II. Usually Simon. Oh, I have that. I have an IBM Pro printer here. This is an IBM Pro Printer X24 that I'm working on. This actually goes to my PS2, so it's got some issue. Normally, it's not sitting on top of the Apple II like this, and usually Simon sleeps on top of the Apple II. So, but yeah, here's the Samsung. So I'm going to install Windows XP Tablet Edition on this and see if there's a difference in speed, because this thing's a dog. It is slow as shit. So most of my cats don't mind. Missy and Midna are sisters, and they're both, I don't know, they're both kind of odd. Midna hates people, period. She just does not like being around people. If anybody gets within a couple feet of her, she takes off, and that includes me. So, and she was born in my house. So, Missy was like that up until about 8-9 months ago, and she finally started coming around. She'll come up on the bed and chill out with me a little bit, and she'll let me pay attention to her. But and then Missy has 2 kittens, which are Boots and Lucifer. And Boots is an absolute snuggle bug. She loves me to death. And her sister Lucifer, she's kind of a standoffish one. So, and oh, you can pick up your car, Ash, and 8% rust. Well, from what I understand, that's kind of typical up that way, which doesn't surprise me. So, I drive a Saturn, so I don't have the rust problem, because plastic cars don't rust. So, I got that going for me. So, and I'm a bit of a Saturn fanatic, as I've been told. I like Saturns a little too much, but I've had good luck with them, and I have a buttload of miles on mine right now. So yeah, that's kind of the way my Missy is too. She's skittish,
I mean, as Steve will attest, if anyone strange walks in the house, she'll take off a Helen. But you know, she lets me pet her, but it kind of has to be on her terms. And then I got my oldest 3 boys, Shadow, Sassy, and Tabby, and they love me, but they don't like other people. So I wouldn't call it a classic car, Ashton. It's a 2003 Saturn L200. I've had it for many years now, and I love my little Saturn. It's a great car. So, oh, you should have bought the Pacer, dude. The Pacer is so freaking awesome. I love Pacer. I love AMCs. I've owned several AMCs over the years. My mom had an AMC Gremlin when I was a kid. So she had bought a 1972 AMC Gremlin, and she had that up until I think 1986. Yeah, it would be 86. Her dad bought her a new Buick LeSabre because he didn't think that the Gremlin was good enough to be carrying kids around in because it was only 2 doors. So yeah, she gave my brother the Gremlin when she got the 85 LeSabre, and I think that it ended up getting junked shortly thereafter because it got rusty. Oh, that sucks. I'd love to have a Pacer. I want a Pacer wagon. I just think they're so same thing with Gremlins. I mean, they're so freaking ugly, they're cool. So I owned a couple of Concords, which are basically a slightly updated version of a Hornet, with a 258 straight 6s in them. Great freaking, oh my god, great freaking motors. As a matter of fact, I used to commute from York to Baltimore and back with my 1978 AMC Concord. It didn't have a lot of options that worked, but man, when the air conditioner in that thing worked like you wouldn't believe it, it would start throwing ice chunks at you. So, ooh, that's a little pricey. 3,000 Canadian. Wow. I mean, that might be cheap up there. I'm not exactly sure what the exchange rate is at the moment, but yeah, it's a shame we didn't get that. Pacers are cool cars. They really are. They're very unique. And in the AMC landscape, they're extremely unique. They're one of the only cars that weren't based on something else. You know, most cars from 1970 up, at least midsize, were everything was based on the Hornet. I mean, you had the original Hornet, and then the Concorde and the Eagle. And the Eagle, you know, the Eagle station wagon and the Concorde sedan and station wagon were all based on the Hornet. So, you know, Trabants are cool too. I've had the privilege of playing around with Trabants a little bit. If you ever have a chance to get a Trabant, that's a very unique car in this part of the world. Period. So, seeing as how they were very rarely exported outside of East Germany, you know, you still see them around quite a bit in Germany, but not around here. So, if you're looking for a guy who has a Trabant, check out the car channel Aging Wheels on YouTube. His videos are absolutely hilarious, and he owns a Trabant, and he just got a Reliant Robin. So, he's got some pretty unique pieces out there. He also has a Wego Life electric car, although I think the battery is dead now, and a smart car. His channel is called Aging Wheels on YouTube. You check it out. It's really cool. Yeah. So. Yeah, Trabants are definitely something else. Anything that uses a 2-stroke, 2-cylinder engine is is pretty crazy. You know, I mean that stuff was kind of unheard of here, but you know, you got a lot of the European cars. You know, I mean, you have the Citroën 2CV, and it's the same way. It's a 2-stroke air-cooled engine. And those, I wouldn't mind having one of those personally. I think they're wild. So, that'd be one of the cars that I wouldn't mind having. So, but so I'm gonna call it quits for the night. I don't know if I'm gonna have a video out this week. I might do one on the iMac here since I got it all up and running. So, but I'm gonna play with the Samsung here tonight yet, and it's nice having you all here. Yeah, 2-stroke cars are definitely I don't know about amazing, but they're definitely unique, to say the least. So, yeah, 2-stroke Xserves, they're cool too. I've never actually seen one in person, but I've watched videos of them, and yeah, they seem like pretty cool little cars. So, another guy to check out, I'll tell you what, another guy to check out on classic cars, and this is going to sound weird, is actually Jay Leno's Garage. You know, he's got a lot of classic cars, and he has a couple of 2-stroke Xserves, and he actually drives them. So, you gotta check him out too. So everybody, you all have a good night. Thank you to Ashton and Sadmac and Dysfunctional Wombat. And of course, Trina and all the people who aren't here anymore, like Steve and Jay and Bruce. He was only here for a minute or two. So if I missed you, I apologize. Dave Stahl. So thank everybody for coming, and I might make a video tomorrow on the iMac G4 here, and if I have anything interesting going on, I might stream again on Monday. So, you guys all have a good night, and thanks for stopping. So, don't forget, like the video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe.